Thank you for being here. Let's see. Yeah, you're missing out. Absolutely. Absolutely missing out. Bree is in the house. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for being here. Let me get one more here. Hey, hello, Lily Blue. Thank you so much. Sound is on 10. Absolutely wonderful. I'm gonna go ahead and bring the girls out because we got a whole lot to talk about, and I gotta know how it felt to go back and rewatch this season. We rewatched it just for y'all so we could have some fresh recap on the way. Welcome to the stage, a very sweet lady with her sweet perspective. Ashley is in the house. Hello, Ashley.
Hey, I am too
Oh.
excited. Too excited.
Man, how did it feel to go back and rewatch the show again?
Amazing. It was even better, I think, the second time around. It was even better for me.
I thought it was just me and I thought I was being extra. But I know somebody backstage who probably feels the exact same way because going back to rewatch something, especially with me not catching it as soon as it came out, I think a lot of us who didn't do that, we had a chance to just binge and go through it. So getting a chance to rewatch it now, you're catching stuff that you didn't see before. Coming to the stage, you know her, you love her. She is a regular here on the channel at this point, along with Ashley. Kay Bly is in the house with the books because she reading them books. Hello, Kay. Thank you so much for being here.
See, you were slipping. When this show came out, I put out 2 episodes interviewing this show because that's how much I loved it.
I didn't know. I think like a lot of people, I was so wrapped up in like, okay, we already got the movie. I love the movie. I love Brad Pitt. I love Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise as Lestat, like he's goated. Y'all can get on my face with that. Kristen was dancing like she always do every movie. Back up on my face with this. Then I watched it. I was like, oh my god, this is so good.
I was a fan of Jacob Anderson because I was Game of Thrones fan. So I was like, Grey Worm got a new show? I'm there.
I've never seen that. I've never shoot me in the back later. I've never watched Game of Thrones. And when I saw that he was coming from that, I was like, oh, if he was like that, he is making me want to go watch Game of Thrones because he was so amazing here. But Game of Thrones got all them seasons and whatnot, and I just don't feel like it. I just don't feel like it.
It's a masterpiece. Hopefully one day you'll feel like
it. One day
you'll come over to the dark side.
It's so much history. But just getting into this show, I really just wanted to start off with what I felt like was one of the more underrated portions of it, because I was like, we was really sleeping on the little back and forth here, the Daniel Malloy situation. I had a newfound appreciation for it watching it this second time, and the whole Rashid, this whole setup here in this, I put the cat and mouse curiosity, uncertainty was underrated. I love all the rebuttal of their conversation in the likes of Daniel going like, boo, you a victim. We how many decades and centuries, like you was a victim. You were a victim. Him calling him out on still to this day romanticizing the situation that he had with Lestat, or just kind of being on edge because it's just like he could kill me at any second, but I'm here and I want this story and I'm just here even if it's not that. I'm here just based off of curiosity. I love that. Ashley, how did you feel about Daniel Malloy and maybe so much, Rashid, the lover, the familiar, the protector, maybe the servant, because he definitely wasn't Armand because we know that was him.
Listen, I just loved the subtlety and the nuance that came with everything about Rashid. Again, his selflessness, his really paying attention to detail, anything Louis needed, he was Johnny on the spot. You would never imagine. He was so unassuming. As far as Daniel Malloy, he's just petty as hell, and I love that for him. He tickled me every chance he got. He was talking slick, even when Louis choked him up. He was on the verge. It was like, I'm still gonna talk my mess. Like, he knows he's on his way out of the land of the living, right? Because we know he's got that condition. And I think it emboldened his character. I loved everything about the portrayal. Much better than the movie, in my opinion.
It
love
was.
This approach.
This show is better than the movie. I don't care who got something to say about it, and I love the movie, but this show is doing so many other things that we couldn't do in maybe that 2-hour runtime. Kay, how did you feel about Daniel Malloy in the I ain't gonna let you talk to me any kind of way of it, even if you are a vampire? I don't care.
That was one of the things that I actually loved the most about the series was the dynamics between Daniel and Louis. because he was so unbothered and unimpressed. Like us as an audience watching all of this craziness happen, all of these animals coming in and these people coming in so that Louis can feed, and he's in Dubai and it's all this elaborate stuff, and he's getting these nice meals, and Daniel is just like, okay, but keep talking because I'm recording. Like
Yes.
like you're not wild or anything by this. He was just like, I'm not impressed.
Just him calling him out on the fact that whatever you're thinking in your head, you're relaying it to me. We already had our situation way back in, and in 73. But I ain't gonna come here and let you play on my top. Like,
Yeah, because you're
all
lying,
of the
Louis. Stop
he,
lying.
it's like that amazes me though. Like, you can go this long and still lie to yourself about what the situation was, and every single time Daniel calls him out on like pretty much his battered wife syndrome, like, sir, this wasn't that, or pretty much insinuates that Lestat was given massa and is given slave. Like, this isn't quite what you thought it was. It is a lot of the loving things you thought it was, but it's a lot of stuff that you still don't. It's not working.
And I don't think Louis is used to people challenging him because he is
Not
a
at
vampire.
all.
And so, like, Daniel is like, if ain't nobody else gonna be real with you, I'm gonna be real with you. You romanticizing this, but this is toxic. Just so you know.
Toxic AF.
Oh,
Listen.
gosh, it
Even
was,
his
and
defense of Claudia, he's like, okay, how long are we going to protect Claudia? Like, or when are you going to tell the whole truth that, like, come on, she's a supervillain, and I love it. She's my favorite villain. But
it is. It just gives like, why bring me here to still coat things under? Because he's bringing him here as if okay, finally I'm at my wit's end, and I just want to be honest and give my unflinching truth of what happened from the 1900s up until modern day, and I want to, you be the one that gave it a story to. Okay, well, why bring me all the way here to Dubai to still coat, cover up, and lie for your own comfort? Oh, Louis was messed up. Still sensitive. All these hundreds of years later, just dry, child. Absolutely dry. But Rashid was wonderful.
I had that season finale. Okay, let me tell you. I watched that episode maybe 4 or 5 times because I have to look at something different every time. And watching the season for a second time, I had to notice how Armand, aka Rashid, was playing his role in the background real well. He was really blending in. Like, he's just this young guy that Louis is taking advantage of. Like, he just telling me what to do, and I work for him. And the second when everything was coming to light and Daniel was going back and forth and Louis was going, they both arguing in the back.
Yeah, he's floating up.
Rashid is like, how let me take these contact lenses out. Let me take these gloves off because look,
not my man. What you not gonna do?
It's time to
what you not gonna do? Like, I think it played on our intentions, especially people who are so familiar with the movie. When you think about, when I think about Armand, girl, I see Antonio Banderas. When if you get into the actual book, he is supposed to be this teenage waif who got turned a little earlier. Like, he's I think he was like maybe 15, or he was young, so he's supposed to have this type of energy, young, fresh, and light, and dark haired, and just this dreamy, like, kind of giving little boy. And Rashid gives that. I was like, if you would have paid a little bit of attention, you would have known. But I love that they add so much allure for us to go like, oh, we're with Daniel, but baby, we saw you standing in the sun. You can't be that because we saw you in the sun. You've been doing, you praying. You in here giving your Allah.
My boy said, what is a mediocre star to a 513-year-old vampire? I said, let me write that down.
When he said you sucked this boxer, this 200-pound man, and he fell out, and you've been sucking on, you've been sucking on Rashid this whole time, and he's taking it like a G. What's really going on?
It was just really good, and I loved it, and I just felt like it was just great to see the likes of Louis at your old age still trying to, because you can clearly see he's still trying to get under Daniel's skin. There is no reason for you to be sucking on necks in front of me, biting into animals. Like, you trying to make me uncomfortable. Like, he's going out of his way to really show, like, I do have more power than you. I have the power to. He's being very braggadocious about what he can and can't do. Even kind of at a moment he plays around with his Parkinson's. Anytime he gets upset, he plays on his intentions or his emotions or physically makes him do something. And Daniel is still like, yeah, I'm recording.
And we can't deny though,
and then be trying to apologize later though, talking about, well,
we can't deny though who
Sorry.
Louis has always been. I think being around Lestat did have a change in his nature. But if we remember the very first episode, one of the very first scenes, he literally pulls a knife on his brother. So Louis has been, I think, struggling with this duality. I want to be this nice guy, but I'm really not nice like people think I am, right? So, and I love that, because give me depth in a character all day, like.
Yes, absolutely. I loved it, and I was here for the deb. Louis, get your life, and we should be eating a little bit of humble pie by now. Child, it's been how many years? Louis de Pont du Lac. Jacob, he was everything. Okay,
Listen,
he was everything.
First of all, I started watching.
First of all, he's a darling. I was absolutely here for the change in setting. And the not so much the setting, because I think we were still in New Orleans, but we're in a different era in time where we moved it forward to the 1900s, and we really gave the show some flavor. Like, I was here for all the Creole-ness, and I loved every ounce of his character. But meeting Louis, we see that he's that family patriarch. Pimping ain't easy. That 1900s opulence. Well, it wasn't, girl. It wasn't. We're very wealthy. We're hardened, and we're all so closeted. Like, Ashley, how did you feel about Louis when we first met him? Because baby was bothered off the rip.
Listen, like I said, I love a nuanced character, and I love a character that's flawed, right? And so again, we immediately get that. The first scene, his brother, who's clearly touched, right? Trying to get the hose out the whole house. Baby, this is a trap. You can't take my, I'm not gonna say the word, but you can't take them. Okay, go home, bruh. You know what I'm saying? But not only that, but we did get this overarching feeling that no matter what he was doing to make money or to subsidize his lifestyle, he loved his family. He wanted to support them. He cared about his sister. Like, he loved his mama. We definitely got that. And I love how we're introduced to him. I even loved his little love affair with Lily, right? Yeah. I loved everything about that. And he was just prime for somebody like Lestat, really, because he's breathtaking. I mean, look at the man. He's beautiful. Like, ain't no denying. And I know people were upset, right? They were like, oh, they made him black. He's a free man of color. But if you read any of Anne Rice's work, she was very, Feast of All Saints is one of my favorite works by Anne Rice, where it talks about the plissage, system in New Orleans and the free men of color there. So it wasn't far-fetched, I don't think, for them to go in this direction and make it more appropriate to where they were in the time. Yeah. It was New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Love Louis. Good and bad, all that. Love him.
I think what I love the most was, and I keep comparing it to the movie, but we meet Louis there and he has like nothing left to live for. This Louis has so much to live for, even though there is a lot of pressure on him. They have lost the father and, the sugarcane business, and he's just trying to keep his wealthy family in that position and keep things afloat the best way he can, even though, the hoes all over the world. But it's just like, he has so much to live for. He has so much to live for, and this was maybe watching it this go round and knowing that Lestat could read minds. I was just wondering if he was so enticed, because he's beautiful, but were we equally as enticed because we felt that he was closeted? I just felt like it was like, oh, that's my kind. That's what it felt like to me. Because why were we going so hard to attach ourselves to Louis? I know when I reviewed the film, it was like there was such this matching sorrow, because Louis wanted to die in the movie. This Louis doesn't want to die. He's happy. He has things to live for, and like you said, he's extremely close with his family. So, Kay, what did you take from just this introduction of Louis, and why did Lestat attach himself to him? Because this is a totally different Louis.
I liked the angle of them being in in New Orleans and at that time period, and him being, although wealthy, still having to deal with racism. Like
Yeah.
his money and status meant nothing when it came to
Mhm.
racism,
Yeah.
and that Lestat knew that,
Yeah.
and that's how he kind of played into like, look, I know you. One of his things that bothered Louis was the racism part. Like I can only go but so far in life
Yeah.
until people keep knocking me down and calling me boy and saying, "Oh, you're black, you can't have this, or you can't be in the room with that," or laughing in
Yeah.
his face. And Lestat is like, "You come over to this side."
We can
I think
fix
that's an
that.
angle because
Yeah,
now
definitely.
you can one up them at this point. And of course, with him reading his thoughts and uh, I always wonder how long Lestat was watching him because I feel
Mhm.
like he targeted him so hard.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, 'cause
really targeted him.
they make it look like in the show like he was just, fresh off the boat arriving. But I was just like knowing Lestat and
He's
him,
smarter than that.
not even that, like
Right.
he's very particular about, I think when they're even later on discussing his lovers over the lifetime, is I think he says it took him over a decade or so to even find Louis, and like he's very like he a picky choosy lover. So I just don't see him hopping off the boat like, oh, he cute. It's just it just had to be something else. But I thought Louis' arc and everything was incredible, and I just love the fact that he wasn't just completely down and out and depressed. Like, no, we actually have something to live for and be taken away. I felt like it made more sense because in the movie, Child Brad Pitt was just sad for sad's sake. He was just down. I was like, boy, get it together. But you can really get into Louis feeling like I actually lost something. You actually took something
Mm-hmm.
away from me that I cared about prior to
Mm-hmm.
this. Even if I'm
Yeah.
getting my kicks with everybody, not well, you can call me a boy, but in the dark, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna bite you. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
I
was, I was
agree though.
there.
He was definitely targeted. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
strategic. I think even the little date with Lily, I think
Oh
that was
yeah,
all planned. I think that was all
absolutely.
arranged in Lestat's mind. Like, oh, I know he messing with this little thing. Let me go. Let me go see. Let me go pull my man.
Oh, Sam Reed is incredible. Like everybody here was just amazing.
His
Like
kills were so hilarious. He was such a comic relief, and I loved it from the first episode. His kills out the water. This guy's hilarious, and it's like he knows he's theatrical, and he's like
mhm.
serious and comical at the same time. It's like, how do you do both? Like, I'm scared of you, but I'm laughing at the same time, and
Oh,
he's got a
girl,
kid.
I've been here 100 years. I gotta get my kicks when I can give it. We can still kill and have a good old time. I put the charming, indulgent, emasculating, manipulating, mystery powered, mind reading predator. Like, the way he preyed on Louis, like, I didn't
Yes,
even pay attention until the
yes,
moment, the
he
whole
did.
Lily situation. He went out of his way to emasculate him first. And then, like, he played on his attention. Like, he completely groomed him up for this situation. I felt so sorry for Louis. And it's just like, dang, even to this day, Louis still doesn't recognize it or accept it for what it was. Like
He
Louis was
followed that
absolutely
man into the Lord's house. When do vampires get to step foot in
Dang.
there and kill the religious leaders? I'm like, how you do that?
oh Lord. It was I it it was just like him. Even the situation, I love the exploration of the power that they have here, and we're seeing things like him kind of freezing the entire room, hypnotizing people. Like they're
Yes.
doing so much. In the moment that he intrudes his space and then he does the situation at the card game, it's like, oh, you can read my thoughts. The moment you don't run when somebody can read your thoughts and they're freezing the time in the room and there, and it's just like he just knew that it was just really, really incredible. And I love that. I thought Lestat here was he up there with Tom. I love Tom Cruise, but it's hard not to pick, this Lestat because we spend so much more time with him and he is just so layered and just damaged as a damn person. Lestat is terrible.
he he I think he used some of his vampire magic on Louis too, because he was getting in that man thoughts and his
Yeah.
mind, and he just kept popping up and sending him telepathic signals and stuff like that. And Louis was like, maybe if I run to the church, this is my last option. Jacob Anderson was in
Right.
there crying, repenting, telling all his sins, and
Listen.
Lestat was like, I mean, this You can
Look what you made
run,
me do,
but you
Louis.
can't hide.
Not even just that, just getting it, pulling it more into modern day, and you trying to entice a man that you know is probably closeted, but we're gonna bring Lily in here to make you comfortable, so I can get at you when I'm
I
gonna go
can
and give
turn
her
you
these
out.
give you this vampire, whatever he do, put the little hoodoo on her and knock her out.
He did.
And
He said,
he
"Have a good nap," and she was out.
Baby. The moment though I knew I loved this Lestat was at the opera. Okay.
oh,
It's something about a person who's so particular. Like he was about his perfect whatever it was, his culture, his arts. Even though Louis said you read 10 pages of a book just so you can say you're well read. When he was at that opera house and that man was singing flat the entire time, I knew that's when I could mess with Lestat. I said, oh yeah, get him, Lestat. But no, he was an ultimate predator, but he was so elegant and there is a charm. And I love how
very
they
charming.
depicted that. And you
It made me
had a
mad.
love-hate relationship with him. Like, I
We're not
hate that I
supposed to
love him.
like him. We're not supposed to. I kept falling. I'm over here falling in with Louis because Louis says so many times, especially in those early episodes, he was charming. He had a way about him. But I'm like, he does. He really does. Like, I love Lestat. Lestat is goddamn terrible. Oh my goodness.
He's a
He
villain.
killed a man over a wrong note, and we sat there and watched him and let him do it.
I didn't. I cheered him on. I said yes because get him out of there.
And we let him do it.
Let me read a couple of these comments and we gonna get on right back into it. Let's see. I can't wait for season 2, most definitely. And see, Louis, OMG. I'm so happy we got another season coming because won't they cancel something in a heartbeat? I'll be catching up with this for sure. Please, Brie, please. It's Tuesday. We're gonna be talking about it. Please catch up with the show. Let me see. D Movie Man is in the house. All hail Queen Claudia. She's my favorite part of every variation
Yes.
adaptation of the story. Oh, child, wait till we get to Claudia. Like, oh, I love her.
Yes.
I love Claudia.
She's my
Let's see,
jam.
I might need to go back before Sunday because I haven't watched. Please, you guys, go and check out this show. This show was amazing, and I
Yes.
just wish it got more push and more promotion than it does. I don't feel like it's getting enough. See, I disagree about Louise not wanting to die on the night of Paul's funeral. Oh, we're going to get into that. But prior to that, he didn't want to die. He didn't want to die. He was, in his feelings about the way he had to go about business, the way that he was being othered in this little community. And, of course, being closeted. But he very much so had things to live for, which I love about him. Super chat in the house. Thank you so much. Let's see. Jacob Anderson did an amazing job as Louis. I've been a fan since Game of Thrones. He's also a talented musician under the name, what's that, Riley Ritchie? Is that what that says?
Mm-hmm.
I'll check him out. I didn't know the brother be singing.
Mm-hmm.
He be singing. Like, I love that. But getting into the comment I read before about him not having anything to or wanting to die eventually, that's a part of the seduction. First of all, did Lestat kill Paul? I just really feel like he killed Paul. I'm sorry. I really feel like I don't care what Lestat said. I really feel like he killed Paul. I put no Lily, no Paul, no religion, no mother. All you have left. I'm all you have left. And I'm offering freedom.
Paul, I don't know the mom is she was in The Color Purple.
Yes, it's Squeak. It's right on Chong.
Yes, I didn't know that till the second watch.
Yeah.
I'm late.
Yes, she was amazing here. I wanted to spend a little bit more time with her than we did because she was great. She was reading him. It was like there was always kind of like this pressure. I felt like the mom knew like Louis was in the wood with them boys, and it was like we ain't gonna say nothing about that. We going to church. He's taking care and holding it down with the father passing, but I felt like she knew that as well as Paul and just the family. But regardless of that, they really loved each other. Once he takes all that away, he literally like attacks Louis, like he's enticing him. He's steady, messaging and like come to me, like just reaching out to him and that telepathy, like it was a lot. This was a whole seduction. Like, how are we gonna say like, oh, this was Kendrick love and we were meant to be if you had to take away all these things for me to even want to be with you? Do you feel like he killed Paul? Because I really do.
I go back and forth with that. I still was trying to
Mm,
think about that this upon the second watch because although I'm not sure, but I think I knew Paul knew he was about to die though because
mm,
he like spent like he was like a different person at this at his sister's wedding. Like he was
yeah.
nice. He was like felt like he was in his right mind. He was engaging with people and bonding with his family, and he stayed up all night with his brother. I feel like he knew that was going to
Mhm.
be his last day, but I don't know if that was Lestat though.
I mean,
I
they
somehow
make it
knew he
really,
knew that was his last day.
they do make it clear that Paul is mentally ill. I think they kind, in a roundabout way, it seems like he's done some stints in maybe a psych ward, and those things didn't help, or they've tried to get him help, and he's really sticking to that religion and says God's and the birds, everything. God talks to me personally through everything here, but regardless of that. This man is evil, and he's come to kill and claim everything. Just get away from it's like he saw that, not even because he saw Lestat for what and who he was. He still has that really good relationship with Paul, even before he engages more and more with Lestat. It's like, this is the first time that I've engaged with a man in this way, as far as friendship, my innermost thoughts, aside from Paul. And it's like, he killed that man. I don't care. And I think they were really meticulous about the timing, because it's just like they just right when the sun's about to go down and you can actually stick your damn head out of the window. Lestat, he just happened to go down. I always thought it, maybe the first time I watched the season, I just put a stamp on. I was like, he did that. He did that. I feel like he did.
He did it.
Oh, you think he did it, Ashley?
Oh, he absolutely did it.
Oh,
He made him do it. It was definitely mind control. He did. He's getting in the way. He's getting on my nerves. He's annoying. And plus, he doesn't want he does what any typical abuser does, right?
yes,
Which is, I want to isolate you from your family, the people you love. I want to make it untenable. So
yeah. It would have been different if he had like, oh, I'm just away from me with all these wayward things. I have nothing to live for. Giving Louis in the movie, take me, kill me, push me. It was like, no, I'm enjoying my time with you, and he's enjoying all the things, the abilities that he has. And clearly there's some attraction. They haven't taken it there, once they actually take it there. How did you guys feel about the sex in the show with the men?
You know how some people have this notion that they're forcing, the LGBTQ
Agenda.
people,
Yeah.
the pride in everybody's faces, and they're shoving it down. For some reason, in this show, I didn't feel like that. I don't know why. It just didn't feel like that to me.
Very natural. Very
there's a
natural.
difference when it's organic and they're just telling a story the way a story is supposed to be intended.
Yeah.
And I don't know how people can knock that. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, this is somebody's life, right? Fictional or otherwise. But it didn't feel gratuitous either. You know
No.
how you watch some things and it's like, that doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah.
why are y'all screwing right now? Everything made sense, right? With his seduction of Louis. I felt
Yes,
like.
it made sense in the spot. And I think people, no matter what type of relationship dynamics you have, can identify with being in such a toxic, abusive relationship. I think that
Oh,
the dynamics like lean into more of that, and that's what I saw more of.
it's just terrible. Like when he came off up in this church, like
Punched
Louis,
that man in the head and went right through it.
you see the disdain kind of low key that Louis has for religion off the back, in the connection with Paul, and just the lifestyle that I'm in and the things that I have to do to maintain our business. We're not really vibing with the Lord right now, so I'm gonna come back here, just not right now. So for him to he's completely been kind of low key isolated from the family even before he turns him completely, because the mother is blaming him for the death, and it's just like Paul's death, of course, was a domino effect of so many other things. So I feel like for that to happen, Lestat had a hand in it. And he was in some bushes when that sun went down, and he whispered something in Paul's ear. He did.
And also, I feel like if you remember the family dinner, forgive me if I missed it because the whole anyway,
No,
power.
you're fine. No, it's fine.
But when he starts talking about his relationship with God, you could tell that was definitely a sore spot for him. And the brother was going to push it. He was like, well, you need to get saved. You're a heathen. And I think he might have reminded Lestat of someone from the past. I mean, that's what it gave. Because Lestat, you shouldn't be letting that get under your collar. the way you
Don't
did.
take
was
much.
triggered.
It
He
don't
was
take
real
much.
triggered.
Very
I
much
just
so.
love Louis. Like, don't do you even do that shit up in here. Like, you better relax. All your little hooter. It's cute when we out in the world. Don't do that in here with my family. Like, he loved his family, and he knew as long as that was in place, he couldn't have him in the way that he wanted to. As soon as they did the deed, he, attached himself even harder to the family. I'm going to try to ignore you. I don't care how many little sweet nothings you whisper from 3 times away. I don't need this in my life right now. But it's like you can't not, you can't fight this. As well as I just love the combination of him fighting off not only the sense of turning him, but him wanting to sleep with men. Like, you're gay. You're gay. And just the dynamics of being closeted in a time like that, just period, being closeted, or especially in a time like that as a black man. Child, it was thick. It was so juicy. The storyline was so
He
juicy.
was
Anybody.
literally running from Lestat in that church.
It was though. It was metaphoric. I'm running from the stat. I'm running from my queerness. I just don't.
Mhm.
This is just not the time for any of that. And it's like, no, you're not running from me. And you
'Cause
couldn't
you
if you
see,
want to.
he laid out all them sins first, and he's like, and I even lie with me. That
Oh,
was busted
child.
in. I was like, now, Louis.
Yeah, I just loved it. I was like, oh, I loved his relationship with Paul, and I loved his relationship with his sister. Like, it was just really great. Like, I love this because you can get more into his dilemma later when he's conflicted with not only the powers and the virtue of being a vampire and being immortal, but I did have a family once. I did have people I loved and cared about, but they do a good job of, when Ray Dong Chung down there says, Paul is in hell because of you. I was like, man, we was on the road watching Sunset together. It wasn't me. Oh, Lord. But getting into this, first of all, who you calling a fledging? I don't know what that means, but don't be calling me no fledging. That's a little too close to play. He didn't like that. Still considered a boy, walking 2 paces behind Lestat, the disconnect in Antoinette, jealousy and control. Shouldn't we be more selective? Once we get into the type of relationship that Lestat wants, it seemed like he not only wanted control and to have Louis as a companion, but you want him to be the type of companion that you want as a vampire. He wanted him to have all this extra bloodlust and for them to be running amok and, and all the opulence and riches. And it does work for a little bit. You do see that he is able, it's giving zaddy. Like, I want to buy that club. Like, all right, I get that. We were having a good time with all the things that being Lestat and a vampire could afford. I do love the aesthetic of the more of the exploration of what it is to be a vampire and the transformation. It's not quick. We get a whole full episode of him adjusting and running out into that sun with that milk child. It's like, oh Lord. There's so many scenes here. I'll be like, ain't nobody everybody sleep in New Orleans, huh? Ain't nobody see Claudia jump off the roof just then. Y'all ain't see that? Okay. But it's I love their dynamic. It's just so much as because Lestat lets it be known like I'm French and I'm this and I'm that. The dynamics of race, they don't interest me. I just know that we should be equal and you should be treated better. But it's just so many dynamics of his life that he just doesn't understand as to why he would attack someone or all of this pent up things that he's had to repress because he didn't have the power to fight back. And it's just like, now that I have it, we see him start to abuse it. And like you said, actually, we see a little bit of that evil pop out, that evil pop out on a good day. But it just felt like when he just wants to be comfortable. Like, it was just really tripping me out how bad Louis, like, he just want to be a little wife. He want to be kept. He want a little relationship. I want to run my little club and I want to come home.
He got
I don't want
money.
Yeah, like I just want to live a cute, quiet life. Lestat is not satisfied with that, especially when he's trying to control his bloodlust and start to feed on animals. And it's just like, if you're not going to give me the type of relationship I want, I'm going to be petty and try to make you jealous with the likes of Antoinette and have my little outside affairs. Kay, how did you feel about all of these dynamics, and what do you think? The whole situation with Antoinette, was that legitimate or was that just all something that was supposed to make Louis jealous that went too far?
I think because Lestat has been, alive for many, many years, I think that he really did care about Antoinette. Not the way he cared about Louis. Now it wasn't that. But I do think I think that was Antoinette was in a place that she was still in awe with him, and she could give him things. She would just like give in to him. And Louis is like, I'm kind of here because you kind of manipulated me to be here. So and then you told me I could have my little piece on the side, and you lied because when I tried, you got all upset. So I'm just here because I got it. You know why I'm here. You kind of forced me to be here, and so he could kind of have like Antoinette, who's like, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. You're the most wonderful thing in the world. I think he wanted like to have both, and I think he liked the fact also that it made Louis a little jealous. I think he liked that too.
Of course, Ashley.
And I think, yeah, I mean, just to kind of further expound upon that point, I think Lestat just liked it all. I don't think he was really bound by a type of sexuality. I just think he
Oh no.
liked what he liked, who he liked. And I think, he treated them like pets. As much as we can say, oh, Lestat really loved Louis, Louis was a kept bird basically all the while, and I think you're right, the money, the riches, it was cool for a while, right? But he
Yeah.
was still just an exceptional Negro, right? And was still very triggered in those moments with the businessmen in town. But yeah, I think Antoinette, I think he saw something in her. But I think if as much as Lestat is capable of love, right? I do think he loved Louis. I think Louis was his whatever, right? His big one in his life. I feel like I know we allude to another lover, right? That he had many years ago before Louis. But yeah, I think as much as Lestat loved him, maybe it wasn't love. Maybe it was like an obsession with Louis. Because he didn't want Louis to go anywhere, but he still wanted to explore and do what he did. But to answer your question, yes, I think he liked Antoinette, but I do think he loved Louis.
Louis was sitting in that house like a battered wife.
But he was a battered wife, like,
Yes.
but it was just like that with if you love me this much, why am I never like, am I enough? I am never enough for you. You're always seeking out to, do a little more, or, maybe be with someone else, or kind of nitpicking, like it's like you love me, but you're not accepting me as I am. You want me to be the Louis that you want me to be, and this isn't it. Like I'm still this, and it's just like as soon as he couldn't be that, all of a sudden we found interest elsewhere, and he just began to kind of, I don't know, like kind of be upset that Louis just wanted to live his best life and run his club and come home. Like I'm like, well, what you want to go do? It just really didn't feel like the moment that Louis goes like, am I not enough for you? Why am I not enough? And he just busts out laughing in his face like, child, it ain't none of that. Like, are you serious? I've lived, a long time, honey. It's just not that deep kind of giving it like, I'll probably kill her later. It's not any of that. And matter of fact, you can go off and live your best life and sleep with whoever you want to sleep with. It's chill. It
Not
wasn't.
really.
Until you can't,
Not
right?
really.
Or fake. Just kidding.
It just absolutely wasn't. After the years start to roll on, you really see that this disconnect, and it's just like, this is a terrible relationship. There just wasn't a lot of love here to me. I'm sorry. It's just like, were we confusing love with, wealth and what Lestat could afford us? And it's one thing to love somebody. It's another to be forced because you turn me into a vampire and you are literally the only vampire I know. And from jump, we see Lestat make it a point not to share or divulge any information on any other vampires. Louis is the type to not really ask a whole lot of questions and not really think beyond New Orleans. And it's just, I was like, was there? Because once we get to that, that whole situation of him holding Louis in a sky child and beating him to a pulp,
Jesus.
Lord, it's terrible. And it's just like, I've been waiting for you to love me the way that I've loved you. And it's just like, did he really ever love him? Or was this, as Daniel Malloy would say, was this Stockholm syndrome?
Because I think Lestat loved being a vampire. Like, he's like, I'm a vampire. Y'all gonna get all the vampireness from this vampire. I love my vampire life. And Louis is just like, I'm a regular schmegular guy, but I just like, I have to drink blood and stuff. Like, he didn't, I feel like he didn't fully accept and embrace the life of the typical stereotypical vampire. Like he wasn't that.
I'm gonna use that, Damien. Say you old fledging. I'm
Yeah,
gonna start using that.
I think it's not so much about Lestat, because I think Lestat could have been any person for Louis. I think that it's what Lestat represented for Louis, because until Lestat, he was never able to live fully free, right?
Yeah.
So I think initially that's what it began as, right?
Yeah.
But I think because he was still so close to his humanity, he still couldn't wrap his head around just killing indiscriminately like that. Like, he's like, I can't do this. Like, this is not longevity. There's got to be a way. Maybe I can just take out all the bad people first, right? And then he's like, let's go to the farm. Like,
let's go to the farm, stuck on a little rat, like, and it just seemed like that just disgusted Lestat no end. Like, oh, how dare you? You are not a real vampire. Like, we don't be running in bushes doing that, boy. That's not how I'm trying to live the centuries with you, dog. We just not.
Was thinking like you're not trying to be, you not in Lestat's mind, you're not accepting who you are, you're not accepting being you're not accepting being a vampire, like you're not trying to accept the reality of who you are, like I have. And I think it frustrated him.
Yeah, so many times Lestat goes, I'm your family now, and Louis still trying to, go on over there with the twins and visit the family. Child, you about to bite your nephew. We ain't got time for this, Louis. You can't, keep going around, and it's just like he's still trying to cling to that humanity and hold on to what life used to be. And Lestat is getting more and more annoyed at the fact that he's just not letting that go. Like, for years, he's still like, well, maybe I could just come by at nighttime, in my shades and check on you. Like, no, I'm just
Louis got a problem with acceptance. That's what the thing is. He's got a problem with acceptance.
Yeah, but it's just that, and it's just like, you can't have it both ways. You act all righteous, but as soon as stuff happens, like them trying to play with you and shut down your business, all of a sudden we living for the moment to use our vampiric powers and run up on the whites, okay, and make statements. But yeah, how did and I love the whole situation with the the ex-lover and the whole meeting in the bushes and the swamp. And so were they trying to tell us, did Lestat run up on this man and kill him, or was he just lurking? He did.
Absolutely, he did. Absolutely.
Okay,
you say he left him living. Well, no, they don't say that, because they do say that Louis says to Malloy, right? I saw him many years later as an old man, right? And he was like, well, what did you say when he saw you and you were still the same age?
Yeah,
so
what they all saying is when he go home and knock them doors off the hinges, trying to doing like you scaring people. Louis, you have to go. I love the way that the show digested, him being a vampire, him aging, nobody else around, time going by, and just the reception that he was getting from the mother and everybody. Like you knew that they knew like something is off, but it's just like we don't know exactly what to call it. But something impure is going on beyond, you being up there kit with that white man. Like, what's happening? Why you got no grades yet, Louis?
Like, your eyes change colors.
Yes. You the devil, Louis. You got to do it. The devil. You've been laying with the devil.
Yeah. We absolutely were, but just Lestat is a very selfish man. He wants people his way on his time, and yeah, it's cool when I do it. Like, it wasn't. You just said I'm jealous. Like, what, sir? It's just absolutely terrible. Now for the main attraction. Let me read some of these super chats. Let's see. Hey, Tyra, my African vampire queen, and salute to the panel. Hello, Daisy. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Once again, Daisy, thank you. Let's see. I think Lestat saw Louis on Game of Thrones and fell in love. Probably so. Now, with the fledging happening, everything burning down around the town, Louis' business, everything he cared about just seems to be slipping away, and we're really getting into the gripes of what it means to be permanently with Lestat. The opulence is gone, the wealth is gone. This may not be enough for me. I'm starting to feel some type of way that I'm never going to have a family. I'm never going to age. We're never going to be able to have any children. I'm never going to be able to reconnect with my own damn family. In comes the Band-Aid baby. Louis' redemption. Turn her for me. My new funny parents, because they funny. Everybody's funny. We get into nurture versus nature, and the thirst being real with Claudia. Claudia was everything like The actress portraying Claudia, of course, Bailey Bass. If you guys do not know, we are losing her for the second season, and she is being replaced by a new actress, which is unfortunate, and I hope she does well. But
because of
I'm still,
Avatar. I think it clashed with her filming Avatar.
Mm.
oh girl, you could have left it on the ground. We don't even care about that.
Leave Avatar alone.
No, we
Sit
don't
the
care
fuck over
about
there.
that. I mean, the first one was enough. That second one, they weren't talking about nothing. Like, we needed you here. We comfortable with you. I loved Claudia. Like, Claudia is a nightmare.
Spectacular.
And you really get into the trenches of what it means to transform someone who is so young and the dilemmas that come along with her age, with how she feels, the fact that she isn't aging, and the or even just the dynamics of their toxic ass relationship, because she is most definitely a band-aid baby. We're not so much focused on our lacking relationship, the abuse always coming up off of Lestat, the cheating, the wandering eye, or the fact that, you know, I'm still being bored around here and stuff I cared about is gone. No, we are now Lestat daddy and we are Louis the mama. That's, you know, what's going on here. But Kay, how did you feel about Claudia and, you know, her sucking on everything that's not tied down?
Claudia said, "I'm so hungry."
I'm hungry, but I'm hungry.
She was my absolute favorite because the way, like, her eyes lit up when she was about to kill somebody. Like, it was the way she killed was like, let's start. Like, this is fun. Like, this is, I'm gonna make fun of this. This is hilarious in the way that they kill. And every time her fangs came out, you just look in her eyes like, this is gonna be fun. Like, you know, she was just really gonna attack in a fun manner. Like, it's a game to her. I loved Claudia, every bit of her, even like the first few years when she's just like learning to be a vampire and learning the dynamics, and then when she started to grow up and started to look and see, like, this ain't really what y'all was trying to make me see that it was. Like, I see y'all now. I see it. And they're both pretending like they don't see it either. And that wasn't enough for her. Like, she was embracing being a vampire in the way Lestat wanted Louis to do. But when she got her autonomy, they didn't like it though. Lestat was like, okay, she might got a little bit too much autonomy.
No, I love the fact that Lestat never even considers, like, he never, they're underlings, like, no, I'm the maker, I'm the whatever, but he just never considers the fact, like, you raised just as much as Louis raised her, you raised her as well, and she picked up on a whole lot of your little conniving, funky ass little behaviors, and it came back on him tenfold.
Sneaking around, spying on people and all.
It was great. Actually, how did you feel about Claudia being hung? I'm hungry. I'm so hungry.
Listen, spectacular. Can we talk about range though? Like, going from, you believed her at every stage of her journey, from, you know, and you know, I don't want to knock the movie because it's Grail and I respect it. I respect the original work, but Kirsten Dunst's representate, you know, okay.
I like that they aged her up here too, because
I do too. It wasn't just like, you know, a petulant child, right? The whole time we see her in that stage, sure, but then we kind of got to see her go through puberty, right? I want a man too, like Papa and Lestat, they do this, I want to do it too. And then we also see her, when you said, Kay, that she gained her autonomy, she had not only a thirst for blood, but then this thirst for knowledge. I want to read as much as I can, I want to go here. Like, I loved seeing her evolution, right?
And Uncle Les was like, oh no.
I'm gonna still drink that blood, right? But I want to explore. So I just thought her character was spectacular. The portrayal was wonderful. It was like understated. It wasn't over the top. She gave everything that needed to be given. Favorite villain.
And she's terrifying. Like, look at, like, like cute and terrifying at the same time. Like, she's a creature from your nightmare.
I think what I loved the most was with her maturity. She wasn't as green as Louis. Like, Louis was so complacent and just so kind of comfortable in his Stockholm syndrome. But when she Uncle Les has secrets, like she's starting off, you know, asking questions, and, you know, who's your maker? Where did you come from? Is there any more like things in however many years? Louis has never even thought to consider, because he just believes that Lestat is righteous. He looks at Lestat through these rose-colored glasses. It's just like,
Mhm.
no, he's a manipulator. He's, a little deceptive. And just that whole situation with the maker and you not being able to read the thoughts and them being able to communicate that way, that was everything.
Loved
I
it.
love them talking that way. I love them. But like you guys said, that first when she's trying to, eternally, a little girl, never the lady, and she's getting into her first relationship and sucking him dry, and her diary entries, and it's just like, oh my god, this was so layered beyond what we saw with the movie, and just her really going through the bouts of, no matter what I do, I'm always going to look like this. It's really selfish of not only Lestat, but Louis. You turned me just as much as him. Like, this was, turn her for me. Like, I need this for me. She's, created to be my sister. I need a purpose, and not even thinking about what this was going to do to me long term. And me never having a companion. How the hell am I supposed to find a companion and I permanently look like a child?
Mm.
It's so sad. It was tragic. I was, I was a little bit with Daniel. Like, yeah, I don't care about none of that. This killer. Like, I don't care what you're trying to, paint her with. This is a diabolical killer catching bodies. And
But
he's
that
like,
was
she was
that
a
was the
teenager.
beauty of her acting, though, and the writing, I feel like, because
Oh, yeah.
even though she was this monster, you had such compassion for her. Like, especially when she goes off to college and that sucker,
Yeah.
what he does, you're like, oh my gosh, like, there's still even a humanity, even in all of her vampirish ways. And so, kudos to the writers, the directors, and this actress who played her, because you felt compassion for her. Even when Lestat and her got into it, you felt, right?
Oh,
You
every
felt.
second of it. You felt them stare downs that she was giving Lestat. You felt every bit of that burn she was giving him with them eyes.
No, Dana, I don't believe she was fired. It was a schedule conflict. You guys said with Avatar, and it's just her not being able to portray. I personally would have dropped Avatar like a bad habit, but
Same.
it's a bigger opportunity for her to be seen on a larger screen. But I'm gonna be thinking about her when that season starts, and I don't want to hold the new actress to her standard, because she did a phenomenal job, and I don't want to be like, see, if Claudia was here, if OG Bailey Bass was here, this would have been totally different. I'm hoping that it's still wonderful. Let's see, I'm sad. The girl, yeah, we all sad. We sad. I'm hungry. I'm sad.
Absolutely.
With Daddy Lou and Uncle Les.
Oh
Because
yeah,
that was his child. You couldn't
that
tell Louis that
dynamic.
wasn't his.
No, go ahead, Ashley.
Oh, nothing. I was just gonna say, you couldn't tell Louis that wasn't his baby that came from his loins, honey. He loved Claudia down. You hear me? He loved her down.
You would think that he was pregnant with her. That was his baby. Like, exactly, because he longed for that family so much, and he felt like, I could actually have a family that will never leave me.
That was great, but it was the same thing with freaking Lestat. Like, I can actually have a family that never leaves me, but the moment that you love this little girl more than you love me, or you're allowing her grace, where you went, oh, she gotta go. She has to go, girl. It's never been you. It's always been about, like, you little cackling queen. Like, you need to relax. Like, he just wanted that same love, that undying, unflinching love that he was giving Claudia. I don't think he gave that completely over to Lestat, and Lestat was jealous for a very long time, and it showed up in some ugly ways.
That man was depressed for 7 years when his baby left. He was on the couch in a robe. They ain't clean. How you a vampire and you not clean your house? You could clean your house in like 30
bam,
seconds.
bam, bam. We could be done,
baby. She said he's not even doing his housewife duties. Louis was off. Do you hear me? He said, I'm off the clock. My baby gone. My baby left.
When we get here and Claudia knows where all the bodies are buried because she put them there, we're leaving the depression, laying low, cleaning up chaos, and still seeing Antoinette. When we got here and Claudia was leaving all of them body parts around the house and all over the bay and washing up on the shore, and after all these years, the cops rolling up, it was like, okay, Claudia, but I'm like, I couldn't even be upset with her. What did y'all really expect her to do? This is what happens when you decided to turn a child, and she is acting out in the only way that she knows how. Child, when Lestat was reading her diary, I was like, oh Lord, please put that up. Don't read anything else out of that diary, but just how hurt she was that she would never have a companion of her own or never be a full-fledged woman or even know what it is to just really fully experience life, and just realizing and calling them out on how selfish you are to know that you will always have each other, and I'm just supposed to be here and be complacent and comfortable as the little sister child. It was like they didn't think it through. Like, she's not going to be a child forever. She's eventually going to age regardless of what she looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole situation down there about her going out to explore and Bruce decides to hurt her. We're gonna leave it at that. And it was that whole
knew.
Yeah.
He told her, he said, I heard
him.
all of his thoughts. I heard everything.
Terrible.
That sent me. I said, you
Terrible.
low down, Lestat. You will low
he
down.
was waiting. He was waiting. Of course, we reconnect with Antoinette because, like y'all said, Louis wasn't like 6 years, child. 6-7 years. As long as Claudia's gone, we can clean. Well, first, of course, they were laying low and we're ringing off too many alarm bells with the townsfolk. We need to just, stay in and keep quiet. But every single time, Lestat's like, "Oh, there's an opera," and it's like, "Yeah, it's my baby gone. You think this her in the paper?"
Exactly. And Lestat like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm fine. I love you. I'm right here."
I love you.
And Louis rolled over in his robe, was like, "Okay, but look on this page right here because they said it's in the body."
Yeah, two of them right together. That sound like Claudia, don't it? Sound like her, don't it?
And he's just like, enough. If you're not like, what when the stat said, like, if you're not gonna isolate all of my gifts, like all this, I got this stick over here. What's good? We could be making love. Like, Lord, can you please?
And Louis is like, why you not worried about my baby like I am? Like, this is what we need to be worried about.
He never really cared about her like that. Like, she's taking that affection away. I want you to care about me like that. And since you aren't, I'm gonna reattach myself to Antoinette. And even though I hear him attacking her, and I low-key know where Claudia is, I'm not gonna say nothing. I was like, oh, you low down, dirty.
Oh, because the candy shop was closed down. Louis said it's closed for business, sir.
Close this road. Get in your own coffin. We will not be sharing a coffin until my baby comes home. You can sleep in that coffin. You did it before. Spend 7 years in there. When she come home, I give you some. Like, get away. I'm just not in the mood. But they grow more and more distant. And it wasn't just I don't think it was just the lacking of Claudia. When Claudia leaves, you just have to deal with what your relationship is to Lestat, and it's really just not much of anything. It's so toxic, and Claudia was the only thing that was keeping them glued together, which is why when she came back and she tried to leave that second time, he was like, "We ain't gonna do this again."
He said no. He said no.
He was pissed she came back the first time. Louis he was like, "I don't care. You could have been gone 15 years. I'm gonna still say I'm sorry. I love you." And Lestat was sitting there like, "Ma'am, I know the hell you didn't."
She was hoping. It's like, she's coming back. Like, no, she's not. She's not coming back. Let it go. Like, no, she gonna come home. He didn't want her to come back. He was just hoping with time he was just supposed to forget about her. Claudia was a whole representation for whatever humanity that he felt like he had left in connection with something like a sister or that outside world. So he loved her, and Lestat was a hater for it.
Listen,
thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Claudia is such a badass. I loved how she just jumped over the top of the balcony to get down on the street. Yeah, like I was like, ain't nobody see that.
That's what I said. I said, really?
Would not see that. But I would just like to think, when they like to do the vampire, like they're moving fast in their mind. Nobody saw it because they were moving that fast. But in my mind, I'm like, y'all ain't see Claudia jump down right there. Okay, it's cool. Let me show some love for the super chats. Y'all know we gonna take a little break and take a little smoke break and show some love for a minute. We appreciate the money. Y'all keep showing us love. Make you wanna be my one and only baby girl. Night after night, me give me love to keep me. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll be back here getting my life. Like, seriously. But thank you guys so much for the super chats. I really, really appreciate it. Y'all keep on showing that love and hitting that like button. But the moment that she reveals, like, oh, he's still sleeping with Antoinette, and it was before, because she says that before she leaves, like, so do you think this entire time he had been, the whole time he was with Louis, he had his little side piece the whole time?
Or
It's like
other
she,
ones. Absolutely. Lestat can't be trusted. Listen, Lestat can't be trusted. He wasn't keeping that thing just to, Now, initially, Louis might have been throwing that thing back quite a bit, right? But I think eventually, after that dissipated, Lestat been on his BS. Come on, guys.
that was just crazy. And he was like, oh, like, and he was just so shocked, like, you've been following me. Like, you raised her. You forgot who you raised? I
Correct.
definitely followed you. Definitely followed you. But once we leave, all the depression and, burying all them bodies and cleaning up, and about 6-7 years go by, she finally comes back home. Well, she's just not coming home. Claudia is coming to reclaim Louis and go on this quest. You see that she's been reading books. She's trying to learn more about where they come from, who they are, or just be more cultured overall. Whatever I need, we're not going to find it here in New Orleans. I came here for Louis, and you need to come with me and get away from this toxic man. Child, he didn't have to do all that. He did not have to do all of that. Just doing that, just at the thought, like, he didn't even say nothing. He didn't even say, like, girl, let me get my bag. I'm gonna come with you. It was just like, even at the thought, like, you just even thinking about leaving me makes me upset to beat you down. I was like, Louis, fight back. What, Louis, fight back? Or was he just that damn strong? Like, for him to hurt him in this way, even if it's just like, oh, you're a vampire, you're going to heal, I didn't kill you. It's just, this was so horrible. And I was like, oh, like,
and then dropping him from outer space.
I felt like we was watching this from Claudia eyes, because, and it felt like, because she came in and started this, this foolishness. And even when hearing Louis in the room is like, oh, we're good. It's over now. It's over.
Okay.
It's good. It's gonna be okay. And then it started all over again. I was like, oh Lord, poor Claudia.
Yeah.
How you come home and walk into some mess?
Yeah, he dropped him from orbit. Like, he beat him and I think I had blocked it out, because when I rewatched it this weekend, it took me through all and trigger warning, y'all. Sorry, very much domestic violence situation. But it transcended the stratosphere. I mean, you fly him up there knowing Louis can't fly. You know what I mean? You drop him, he lands in the
I ain't even tell him you could fly, first of all.
All those years, he tried so hard to suppress, like, I don't want you to think about venturing off. I don't want her speaking on what other vampires could be out there, or this, that. That's more potential for you to leave me, or for something else. And I always felt like he was laying low. I don't know what he laying low for. Hopefully we figure it out in season 2. But it's just like, no, I want him here. The moment you realize that there's more people out there, more people like us, even though he is saying, like, you don't know what it is out there. A lot of those vampires are, 10 times worse than I am. We're safe here. And she's just not, rightfully so, not believing anything that he has to say, along with how horribly he treats the both of them. It was just increasingly through the years, he started to treat them worse and worse and worse. And then when Claudia would, joke around like, oh, massa, us, I was like, it is giving massa though.
He beat him. No, that was more than a domestic violence. He beat him like a runaway slave.
Yeah, somebody.
Just beating him with his permission. If this was ever a placeholder for a toxic, abusive, Stockholm battered wife syndrome relationship, this is definitely that. Even outside of them being vampires, right? For him to do this just at the thought of, don't even ever think about leaving me, or thinking that you could ever love Claudia more than me. The fact that I even feel like you do, and he lifts him up. It's like, I've been waiting for you, Louis. Like,
and
I've been here.
It was purposely done in front of Claudia. Like, I think he really wanted Claudia to see, like, this is what I'm going to do.
What he could do.
Yes.
Everything Lestat did has been strategic the whole time, throughout their entire relationship. So yeah, he was proving a point. He definitely was making Louis an example in that moment. And then seeing Louis perched there with that book, well, I'm gonna stick beside him. I'm a stick beside him.
It was just so sad. This is the later 1900s, and then we're getting into 2022, and it's just like, there was love with Lestat, and he had his ways. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking how you were abused. This man mistreated you. He manipulated you. He turned you. He, took you away from your family, even though you did have this power and you did enjoy, at some expense, the liberties that being a vampire gave you. And you do have love for Lestat. Let's not downplay how he treats you and what he did to even get you to this point, and how he treated Claudia. Like that whole situation when he says, what does he say? Like I forgot, but he's getting mad because they're talking, in their minds, and it's just like she's saying, "This is what he does. He, tries to scare you. She like the fact that she is younger and she is reading Lestat like a book. Like I can recognize this for what it is, and Louis just can't. I was like, Louis is really.
Daniel Malloy is reading this. He wasn't even there. And he's like, you keep romanticizing it. And Louis was like, you don't understand. It's a difference between, the human love and vampire love. Like you would never understand the bond. And Daniel was like, what? Like, does it matter if you being abused?
Daniel said, you were a battered wife, Louis. Accept it. Once you tell the truth, you can heal from it.
It just said a whole lot that after how many years, he's still not healed. He's still trying to look at this a certain way. And even those years later, he still has a sense of protection and love over Lestat to paint him a certain way or paint Claudia a certain way. Like, you brought me here for this? This is the book that you want to write? This was just a really hard scene to watch, and just the healing process of Louis. Like, Louis was really messed up. And then it put the stamp on how the parallels this matching the likes of a toxic and DV relationship, when we have Lestat try to come back around, and we're trying to come back around and buy affection with gifts. Like, ooh, like, man, if you don't get in my face.
Look at him trying to be contrite. You see his eyes. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did. I'll never do that again." Shut up, Lestat. You're alive.
He's like, Louis, without you, I'm nothing. And you too, Claudia. But Louis.
When he's dragging him by the neck and he's like, let me make one thing clear. Like, it's always been him. It's never been you. Like, girl, I could give a damn about you. I tolerate you because Louis loves you. And it's just like, you know what? I always knew you felt that way about me. Whole 6 years, he's begging and pleading and bearing gifts. Whole 6 years. We eventually, which I hated, like, I was with her. Like, what we gotta let him in here for? I die every time. Every time Louis throw that damn coffin downstairs, like, get off the porch. Get away from here. I love that. But we allow him to come back 6 or so years later, but we have rules now. And you have to kill your lover, Antoinette, and you have to be completely honest with us about everything and answer our questions. How did you feel, Kay, when they allowed him to come back?
Claudia was not happy with that at all. She was like, I'm gonna play nice for you, Louis. I'm not even gonna play nice. I don't even want this to happen. I'm just gonna sit here.
But why even allow him to? Like, why? Like, it was just that much love in the air, Louis. Like, if this man did that to you and like he was happy to do it, like it just was.
You didn't want him. He just got jealous of Antoinette. You didn't even want him at that point.
Oh, that made me mad. Like that whole thing with the gift. The thing with the gift and putting him finally making a record and she's singing on it, and he swims across 5 oceans to get to him because I'm pissed off. Now we can, get into all this passion I've been suppressing because I still love you and want to be with you, even though you tried to you could have killed me.
You beat the brakes off of him. It's just, it definitely trauma bonding because there was no real love at this point. After somebody shows you that side of them and beats you down and has you looking like that for there's nothing after that. At this point, it's just cosplaying a relationship because.
And he tricked him into coming back. Yeah. He knew he put Antoinette on that record for a reason. That was a petty move. Mm-hmm. He said, well, the nice stuff ain't working, so I'm going to be petty this time.
No, not even getting into like, I love Daniel, getting more into that Stockholm syndrome. He has conditioned Louis to feel like it's just them. Like, if it is another vampire, they're few in between, and they may be the most hatred things that you would ever want to see. You met one, didn't you, Claudia? Like, he's fixed him to feel like this is all that there's ever going to be. So Louis just feels really complacent. Like, where else am I going to go? Who else am I going to have? The only thing I do have is Claudia, and I'm trying to hold on to that. But if I don't have Lestat, if I'm not with him, who else am I going to be with? Anybody. Anybody, Lord, somebody. Somebody like
Isn't that what they do in those relationships though? They make you feel like they're the only person. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the only one that's going to love you like this. I'm the only one that can be this for you. Everyone else is terrible. So I guess he was like, at least this is the devil I know, right? I don't know. There's no making it rational.
Terrible. It was terrible. Thank you so much for the $5. He beat the dog out of Louis. I was Louis. Can you at least pitch this mother something? Like, it's just I don't know if Louis was just stunned. Like, I can't believe he's physically, because they had been together for some time, by then. But it's just and it was just like, oh, for 6 years, and I was coming like 6 years ain't nothing for y'all. That is, no real time for you guys. That might as well be 6 months in your time. Like that was absolutely nothing. But just for them to let him back in, and of course for him to, did anybody think for 1 second that he actually killed Antoinette when he gave the finger? Because I didn't think anybody believed that.
Heck no.
This man been lying the whole moment we met him. He's been lying since day one.
The whole time. I think Louis maybe wanted to believe it, and Claudia didn't believe it as far as she could throw him, because we know exactly who we're dealing with. You keep pretending like you don't want to see him for who he is. By the time we get here and we have Lestat being Lestat, and he stops her, scares her from getting on her little excursion, because it's like,
hilarious. When you bust through that door with that man's head.
tickets all aboard, going to New York. Like, just absolute character. But I just loved how broken Louis is when he's going like, you don't need me, I'll just hold you back, like, you're strong. I was like, oh, you can be strong too. He's such a broken, battered spouse. He is such a
and Lestat was like, he ain't gonna do nothing but go into depression again. Ain't nobody got time for that.
It just begs the question of, with the time that has went by and the relationship that he clearly has till this current day with Armand, he still isn't healed, or he still isn't comfortable enough to call that relationship what it was. And it's just like, are you okay? I just don't feel like he's okay. I really don't feel like he's okay. But yeah, this whole tyrant and scaring her, they done said they goodbyes, and as much as he doesn't want to let her go, he gives the permission, like, sister, go on and, live your best life. And if I, ever want to reach out to you, I'll come. He just drags her back home. It's just like, no, I'm not dealing with her leaving. And I'm not dealing with the effects of how you're acting. Like, it's already been a hold on the house, even with him in there, because Claudia, rightfully so, is having none of it. He is like, I'm giving you a hard time, child. And, Louis, can you just try? Like, Louis is such a
stank face every time she looked at him.
Louis is such a wife. When we get into the chess game and the plotting and scheming that begins, I loved all of that, because Lestat was taking a whole lot of pride in them chess games. I love this. Actually, how did you feel when kind of Claudia just started to take charge? It's just like, if you're not going to have the strength to walk away and get us out of this situation, I'm going to kill him.
Absolutely. Loved everything about it. And what I love about Claudia's character is that she is not, I want to say, even in her age, being the youngest of them, right? She's not that impulsive. Like, she methodically plotted and planned this. Even those little chess games, she knew the exact things that were going to get under his skin at any given moment. Like, oh, I'm going to do check, and then I'm going to get up from the chess table. He can't handle that.
Like, down, play again, finish again. Like, no, I'm tired.
And he was ranting back there.
He showed his weakness though at every moment, and it was like, okay, wrote that down. I know what's going to do it for him. Like, I know this, I know that, and I'm going to make his life as miserable as humanly possible until we take him out. But it's going to happen, Louis. So get on board.
But I don't think Louis ever actually wanted to kill Lestat. He loved Claudia, and he did maybe want to leave and maybe explore a little bit more. And even if he didn't, he wanted to fulfill that for Claudia. I don't want you held back just because Lestat wants to keep us here in this bubble. But I don't think he was ever actually on board with the killing of Lestat, ever. I just
Well,
don't.
we
He just.
know he wasn't in, but I mean, he was gonna do what his child wanted. Listen, he said, "My baby want to get free, so I'm gonna go along with this plan. I'm a chicken out a couple times, but you know, I'm a stick beside her,
I
but
just
I don't
love
want to."
the in depth, just how smart she was to know. Like, I can, even with you, and I love you, Louis, but I can only let you in on so much. I can only share so much with you because you're so entangled in who Lestat is. Like, you're weak. I'm sorry.
That's what it
You're weak
was.
for him. You know, you're getting your emotions, but I can only give you so much. But this whole that like last episode in her that masterful plan, child. The plan was beautiful.
Boy,
The
they tore into
plan
them people. So
They
the plan
deserved
was
it.
good. We've already been in New Orleans for quite some time, and people are really starting to target them. Oh, it's something going on at that house. Bless her. It was given bless her, and the power of Christ compels you. We need y'all to move. We need y'all to move because something
Honey,
is
they was
off.
putting the dolls at the doorstep. I said, "Well, dang!" They said, "The devil lives
all,
here."
all of that needed to take place. So it's like we need to get that out of here. And the way that she knew, like she always knew, like Antoinette was there. Like I'm not gonna play with you. I'm not gonna play. From the moment that, because she tried to prove to old complacent Louise, like, here they are. He said, he killed her. They're here laying up. And he's just so complacent and accepting, like, yeah, they're 2 towns over. He did this because he wanted me to find them. This old Lestat. Like, you're like, this is how you want to live your life.
at that moment, Claudia was like, he got to die
Oh,
because
I got
Louis
it.
is not gonna see it.
Because Louis ain't gonna do nothing.
He's not gonna see
Like,
it.
why? And it's just almost like, just because it's giving, along with that battle wife syndrome and him being a vampire and having that conflict with his humanity, it's just like, well, this is what I deserve. I deserve Lestat. Like, this is just what it is, and this is what our life is going to be. It's like, no, I'm just absolutely not accepting that. The opulence of the party was everything. I love the party. I love the get up, just the costuming and the set design and the cinematography on this show is everything. Like, the wardrobe is everything with an A. It was gorgeous.
I literally forgot that Lestat showed up almost in drag, right?
Drag,
With his
yes.
bustier and everything. I guess I was not. I said, he's showing out tonight. He said, y'all gonna get all this good work tonight. All right, I'm gonna dance with my man, and we're gonna make out on the dance floor. Like, he said, listen.
I love that. The situation where he bit the baby, I love that. It was kind of like a peek into, because we do know that he is in connection with the theatrical vampires, that whole set that we're going to be introduced to in season 2. It's like, let me give y'all a little taste of what I've been sitting on. How many decades I've been here? And let me go on and perform real quick and get cute and give y'all a moment. I love that. But just her digging into just manipulating him and beating him at his own game. It was really, really great to watch. Like, I could rewatch the last episode any given day.
Because that when they got them back to their house and they locked them doors, as a horror person, that blood fest was everything I needed. They got all the kills in that scene. That was wonderful. And theatrical as well, because Lestat and Claudia, their kills are always hilarious. Like, why y'all gotta make us laugh while y'all doing these horrific acts? It was wonderful.
But no, her just knowing that Antoinette was there and she was following, and her poisoning the little townsman. Like, I knew you would go after him because he undermined you and you're petty. I knew you would be petty. I was like, oh, this is so good.
Listen, she knows he was so full of pride and ego. Like, that's what I love. She studied Lestat. Like, she knew him in and out.
And she learned to hear other vampire voices and stuff like that too. She was like, I heard her the whole time.
Heard it the whole time. It was so great. She picked every single those negative qualities that Lestat was putting out. She took them and turned them against him, and it was just so great. Then you have Louis over there, like, oh, yeah, Louis was so hurt. Louis was so hurt. By the time we didn't put down Antoinette and the party goers, and we're trying to bleed him out because we've poisoned him. The moment that he wouldn't burn the body, it's like, okay, we already know what this is.
Wait, we got to back up to one important part. When Claudia grabbed that notebook and used his neck blood to write in that journal.
Petty. Now that's
right
petty.
In the journal. And she wrote it like last words. What do you say? Put me in my coffin, Louis. Like, don't do. And he put him in the coffin. He did.
Friend took that pen and dipped it in his neck blood. Like, boop. Let me write what I got to write.
She was
And I just
sick
love
of
Daniel. Like,
Lestat.
what are these pages there? Yeah, Claudia wouldn't do that. She would have. She loved it. She was living for all of this. What a rest at? Something's missing. This was her diabolical plan, and you mean to tell me like so? Yeah, this where's Claudia? Because I need to hear these, and in her words and all. He's just calling him out on it, and Louis just trying to be present day. Like, yeah, I did that. I bled him out. Like, you ain't do
You
nothing.
ain't do nothing.
You didn't do anything.
Nothing.
You cut him, but if we didn't burn the body and we took the time to put him in a trunk and like, oh, we're just gonna throw him out with the trash and go off and live our best life. No, I know, from all the way to the 80s on down in my first marriage, that particular girl, it's a whole heap of rats. He can get out and feed and fester and come back out and live his best life. So what exactly did you do? Because he's going like, there's a part of this diary missing where Claudia low-key hated your guts. What's happening here, bro?
Exactly.
Yep.
He ain't do nothing but piss Claudia off, is what he did.
That's what he did.
Oh, but I think she knew, like she had to know it. At this point, if we didn't burn him, there's a chance that he could come back. So I'm like, was she pissed? I can't wait to see the following season, like where you pissed because I don't even think it's like is he gonna? Lestat is most definitely coming back.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Lestat is most definitely coming back, and he is making an appearance. What I do want to know is, like, towards the. Of course, we get this really great reveal at the end. I can't leave off the reveal because that was everything. I love when I can have a genuine, like, shocking moment. The love of my life, Armand. This was everything because I was like, oh shit. Because we have him having this reoccurring kind of little nightmare of their first encounter. And he's like, it's something I'm just forgetting. Like, I'm blocking things out. And then eventually he starts to see Rashid there. And it's just like, you couldn't have been there looking like you're looking. That would make you a vampire. And I just saw you praying, to Allah. I saw you in the sun. You're kind of giving servant. You're a nobody. Like, what? It's like, oh, hell.
And my man's is everything. He is everything.
It is everything. And it's just like, we're gonna he's steady telling his story, and we're gonna open up into the vampire the theatrical, the whole little thing, and I think they're in Paris. That's gonna happen. I'm really looking forward to that.
I wasn't scared of Rashid until that very end when I said, you know what?
Rashid said, "Gangsters move in silence." Like, you ain't saying no. He took them gloves off. Like, boy, what you not gonna do is keep trying to play
and floated over to them. He floated over to them.
Floated over them because they make it very clear only the most ancient of vampires are able to do this. And it's like, boy, I'm 500 plus. Say something else. I'm like, say something else. I was like,
Daniel, that's your ass right there.
Oh, that was so good and such a reveal. That was honestly something. Did first watching, did either one of you see that coming?
Hell no.
No, okay.
I did not until we were wrapping up, and Daniel was like, "Yeah, because he took his blood, and he took your blood, and you took it like a G, and you you got 50 pounds lighter than him, sir. What? Yeah. But it was an amazing reveal. I loved it. I love the vampire Armand. I can't wait to see more in season 2. And also, y'all, we'll probably get the real origin story of Lestat, which is going to be so good. I can't wait to hear them tell that story.
Let me go and put that on. Like, yeah, what are we expecting? Like, what are we looking for? I'm looking forward to Lestat's return because, child, we gonna be pressed and mad as we should be. Like, he was already like petty and evil and a tyrant and just that bloodlust and just a terrible human being. And that's before we even, hit you off. Like, now we just try to like take you out. I just want to know how he's gonna return, because we could tell he's just not returning to no. Lestat has not Lestat. Louis eventually meets Armand, and you can see that they clearly have a relationship going on. How is that gonna go when he returns? Because in the trailer, it looks like in the past Armand had a relationship with Lestat. Oh, it's about to get messy.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here for Rashid / Armand, because that was too much. I am scared of him a little bit. After that season, I was on the phone with my mom, like, we were just like, I can't believe we was looking at him the whole time. And he's like the creepiest vampire on the show. Low key. Like, he definitely moved in silence. I want to see more of Rashid's story.
I
Oh, it's
want to
gonna be
know
good.
what the turning point is going to be for Claudia, because of course we lose Claudia,
Right.
but in the film it's because the written rule is that you're not supposed to kill another vampire, but it's like if Lestat is still alive, technically we didn't kill anybody, so how could that be the catalyst for them to try to go for Claudia or go for Louis? Or dismember them or whatever. Like, I wonder what is it going to be. Do you think that'll still be the thing, and then it'll maybe be like, oh, we heard your thoughts, because in the film they hear the thoughts and it's just like, oh, I heard that you killed Lestat, blah, 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 blah. But are we going to do that here, or are we going to do something else to drive a
I
wedge
hope
between all
I
of
hope we
them?
go in a completely different direction because what it looks like just from looking at some of the pictures, it looks like Claudia's going to thrive there for,
Yeah, she
a
loves it.
good period of time. I hope we get more time with her, to develop that. But I mean, they'll definitely be the tribunal and it'll be the ancient, vampires, and they'll come to their determination with probably at the behest of Lestat. Like, I'm sure he'll make a
Grand
simmering
entrance.
case, yeah, for them, but it's gonna be good either way. I'm excited.
I can't wait to see. First of all, I want to see their little thrumple and see what that is. But you have Claudia in the trailer yelling out like, "Once again, you're choosing another man over me. You're choosing him over
Mm.
me." I was like, "Oh, it looks good.
Yeah.
It looks
Louis, I
good."
need him to be a better dad. That's what I need you to be, Louis. A better brother and a better dad. Put your child first now.
Oh Lord. We definitely not doing that. Hello, Muchella. Muchella is in the house. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all go
Hey.
check out Muchella's channel because she got the hammer. Ow. But it looks like there's just this gateway, because we were so confined to New Orleans for the entirety of that, but now that we have more characters, it just seems like there's so much of a whole world opening up. I cannot wait, y'all. Please be here. We will definitely be here discussing the new episode for season 2 Tuesdays around the same time, so be on the lookout for the post for all of that and what we have to say about the show, because y'all, I can't wait to talk about this, and I can't wait to see how do you guys feel like the new Claudia is gonna do, because she got some shoes to fill.
She does. I'm gonna try and not, like you said, not look at her as in the other Claudia, and see if we can give her a chance and just see if, because with good writing she might be able to just slide on in there. So
I
I'm
be
gonna hope.
petty.
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
I was listening to her accent in the trailer, and I was like, and some was on my neck, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until I watch the show. It's just something about her look. She looks like an adult to me. I think that's what's kind of pulling me back. It looks like an adult they're trying to make look like a child, versus where I felt like Bailey Bass actually looked like more so a teenager or like a prepubescent girl. This looks like a woman to me, or am I tripping?
No, you're not. I don't know. They have like something in their facial features is in alignment, but you're right. This is an older, um, iteration of the character, I feel like. But I'm going to try to keep an open mind. Character changes between season always throws me for a loop because
Mhm.
I think, like you said earlier, Tyra, like, I'm like, okay, it's her fault, right? If the writing sucks, I'm gonna blame it on her. I'm gonna be like, yeah, it's her fault. It's
Mhm.
it's that new Claudia, but I'm gonna go easy on her. I'm gonna go into this with an open mind and just pray that the story supersedes, anything.
I ain't taking nothing easy. If it ain't right, I'm saying it ain't right. Cause girl, maybe I should have looked a little harder and found somebody else. Keep it cute, like, cause I love the show. Like, I don't want anything to be like, oh, this is great, but just that one thing. As soon as she come, Claudia, is really present. It's not like she's some, side little one off. Like, oh, they replacing Radon Chong. Like, no, we did Grace or Paul or just that one man in that store. Like, no, Claudia is very present in the show, so a lot is riding on her back for this to
Mhm.
work. Amongst other things, we're familiar with Lestat. Child, we scared of Armand, and Louis is a sucker for love, so we already know what we're getting with that. And then we have all of these new people to be introduced to. I don't know who the little blonde haired man, the little announcer in the trailer, but he's
Yeah,
giving scary too. He
a
looks like a
mess.
nemesis. But I'm here. But I hope she does amazing. But just know that if she doesn't, I'm going to say so. I'm so tired of y'all dropping down in the comments saying I got to be nice for nice sake. I don't. But that's all I had to say.
We need to cut down her role like a lot, especially since we know we're gonna lose her anyway. Let's just cut that. Cut. If we see her in the least amount, I think that'll be fine.
I'm
She said, just
definitely gonna.
slowly fade her out.
I'm I'm gonna give her a
Fade her out.
chance, and I hope she rocks it out. And it's just like, man, Bailey Bass was wonderful, but this new Claudia, she is really doing her thing and making this. She can make it her. I hope she makes it her own, and she's not
Yeah.
trying to be, Bailey Bass, because you can't kind of recapture whatever she created with the role. I just hope that she makes it her own and that she gels really well with the cast. And then just the whole dynamic of Louis in the other Claudia. They look like they're related. It looks like his actual daughter. It looks like it, but we'll see what happens to it. Anything else you guys looking forward to with season 2 before I click on up off of here?
I want to see all the new vampires.
Oh yeah. Because they look,
Yeah.
that little I'm even gonna try to pronounce it. Them theater vampires, they don't care.
About
They
a
do not
thing.
care. They're ruthless, and I think that's that sector of vampires that Lestat keeps talking like, oh, like you don't know, you don't know what's outside. You ain't been outside. I've been outside, and you ain't about that life. And it
Y'all ain't
just
ready
feels
for
like
that.
that
Yeah.
trailer that they are in especially Claudia drawing them in with like, oh, this is amazing, and it's just like, yeah, this is Hink's line and sinker, and it's just like, oh Lord, I didn't know this what this was.
I'm
I just
excited.
can't wait for that, because they're a little green around the gills. That they ain't. I mean, Claudia kind of went outside, but low key as far as vampires, they ain't never been nowhere.
Yeah. I'm excited to see Community, right? I'm excited to see what they do inside of Community there. I'm excited to see the wardrobe. I think, Paris definitely gives opulence as well. So I'm excited about more of that, and hopefully just some really great writing and interactions. Like, I'm really excited. Some of the most memorable moments happen in season 1, especially as it relates to race relations. And I'm curious how they're going to adapt that to Europe, if that's even going to be a thing that they address. Is Louis going to still be an exceptional Negro in Paris?
I don't think so.
Or is that even going to be an element?
Hey,
I don't.
you just niggas in Paris.
I don't think so. I don't even think that'll. I don't even think that'll be a factor. I really don't. I really
Yeah.
don't. I really don't. And I hope that they don't spare any expense, because with a lot of these shows, especially with this show not getting as much fanfare as I think it should, like it's not you remember like Walking Dead, and it was AMC, and this show does not get that much engagement. I hope that I hope they ain't made the budget cute. Keep everything just as indulgent and as high quality as it was in that season 1, because it has been some time.
Yeah.
I hope it still looks immaculate, and then being cute with the budget this time.
And I need the kill count to go higher. I still need that blood and gore to just to give what it was giving.
Yeah, them theater people gonna give it to you. I can feel it in my bones.
So they don't look like they have any limits. I mean, they got some limits, but they seem like they run free.
I've been doing my little checks with the. Has anybody read Anne Rice's book, by the way? I meant to ask that.
I have read Interview with the Vampire, and I think I've started the Vampire Armand. But I haven't read Lestat's book or any of the other ones in that series.
Or as far as the book, is the show matching up with the themes in the book, or is it totally different?
The themes, I think, are definitely there. And what the movie did in terms of innuendo, and the book kind of did some innuendo, but you did get more. I think the show is a truer representation of the story I'm trying to tell.
And they said Anne Rice, before she passed, approved of how they were doing the show. So
Oh,
anybody that
I
said that
bet
they were
she did. I
disrespecting
bet.
her or they were changing how she did, no, she approved of it.
Oh, and she needed that because they played in her face with Queen of the Dam. Let me see what. Let me read some of these comments before we get on up out of here. It's a hard casting trying to find a woman who can pass for a teen, but is old enough to be in this show. It is hard. They have found what was needed, but it's okay. I'm really gonna give her a chance, and I really hope she's amazing. I hope she's amazing. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Child actors do be getting on my nerves. French was more open minded for black. Yeah, that's why I'm saying I really don't think that is going to be a factor at all, and I think it'll be a culture shock experience for Louis to be like, all right, oh, okay." Like I like it over here. I think it's going to be totally different for him as well as Claudia. Let's see. I'm sick of Zendaya. Where they come from?
well, dang.
Somebody
Oh,
said they should have cast Zendaya.
hire Zendaya.
They
I'm
could just
sick of.
call all Americans people. They always casting grown people in kids roles. Call the CW, all
Yeah,
American. Call them. They
most
cast for it.
definitely. Y'all already know where I be at with Zendaya. What's the little baby name from the Joker? What's her name? Zawa BB, Kiki Zabibi. What's her name? What's her name? What's the lady name that was in the Joker?
Kiki,
The lady who was
baby.
in Atlanta. I can't think of
Oh,
her
I know what you're
name.
talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Zawi Beats.
got it.
That one in
Zaza.
Tessa
Oh,
Yeah.
that,
Thompson.
yeah.
Zazie Beats.
Zaza.
Yes.
Them,
Yes.
her and Tessa Thompson. I don't want to see them no more. Her and the Anna Taylor Joy girl, she getting over there too. Keep on playing. Hire some other people.
Correct.
Hire some other people. Get all up subject. Yes, Zazie Beats. I don't want y'all be they giving Zazie a little break. I ain't seen it in a little bit, but boy, they was every time it's like, look, this girl, you getting them checks. Let's see, I'm sure there's next gen
Oh,
Smollett that would be a great
there was
Claudia.
18 of them.
Oh,
Them
I'm
Smollett's ran
definitely
deep.
sure that there is. Yes, Juicy Smollett. But you guys, this has been great. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on the first episode of season 2. It's gonna be great. But let's see who we need to get on here from. I'm gonna go down there to Ashley from My Sweet Perspective because she be doing everything, y'all. So she can tell y'all what she got going on and what time y'all need to pull up to watch her and why she got that red lipstick on and it looked that cute. Go ahead,
Thank you, friend. Hey, y'all. So tomorrow I am dropping the 10 most memorable moments of The Shy season 6, part 1. And then tomorrow night, join me on my channel for a live as we get into part 2 of Power Book 2 Ghost, Tariq and His Women. Honey, that's this installment. And then, of course, on Saturday, we have a double header where we're covering the BMF finale and the Shy season or premiere of season 6 part 2. So a ton of content coming, and come on and check out some of the other stuff. I'm sure there's something there for everyone. Y'all know I cover everything. But thank you as always, Tyra, for hosting and for having me. Such a fun time. Love Interview with a Vampire. Can't wait to get into this season.
Oh yeah, we will definitely be rocking out this season. And not you having 3 lives set up.
I'm booking in advance. Listen.
You being booked and busy. But y'all definitely go over there and check out Ashley with My Sweet Perspective. Remember that everybody's link is down there in the chat. Or you can just take your butt over there right now and come right back. We at the end. It's okay. Thank you so much, Ashley. Let me go ahead and add K Bly back here because she got all the horror that you would ever want in the hooch. Take it away.
Yes, again, if you love horror movies, if you love superheroes, if you like to drink, come on over to the fifth wall, okay? We're here for the nerds. We represent the nerds. I just put out a review for Doctor Sleep. We also go back and talk about underrated horror movies and throwback horror movies we didn't talk about, years ago when there wasn't YouTube and podcasts and all that. So I go back and review some of those. I might drop a review for Imaginary. I actually like that movie, so I might put a review out for that. We're going to do another review for X-Men. We did one at the beginning of the season. We're going to go back and do one at the end of the season. Also, come by. Please subscribe to that YouTube channel. We are here for the horror. We have 2 reviews of Interview with the Horror from season 1 already on our page. And of course, we're always here for the horror. If you like horror, superheroes, again, new movies, old movies, recommendations, reviews, all of that good stuff. We're here for the nerds. Hit that subscribe button.
We like all that. We absolutely like all of that.
Love it.
Pull up on us. Tuesday.
Pull
Do
up
not
on
forget.
me.
Pull up on me. I would definitely be leaving the link very early on, give you guys time to not only get